So this is a video on why I believe Alim McNeil is the steal of the Detroit Lions draft that is not including Penei Sewell. And some may say, Alim McNeil, the steal, even more than All-Monroe St. Brown. The reason I believe Alim McNeil is a steal is because he was supposed to be a second rounder. And also just how good I believe the player is. Alim is a great run stuffer with some upside as a pass rusher as well. Now he doesn't exactly have the most exciting, stats in the league. If you look at his college stats, he does have some exciting parts. But he definitely had moments. For example, he never reached 30 tackles, but he did also have 10 sacks in his career, and even having a 5.5 sack year. But he also did have he had some pretty good endgame stats. They were not bad by any means. He had 77 tackles, 10 sacks, 5 passes defense, 2 forced fumbles, a pick, and that single pick being a pick 6. Another reason why I'm so excited about Alim McNeil is his athleticism. This guy was a high school running back. This guy can move. Brad Holmes praised his ability to do things and to move and to play well. And the Lions have truly lacked having a good nose tackle ever since Snacks left. And not just being good at the run game, but being at least a threat in the pass game. Alim McNeil is 6'2", 317 pounds, and he was rated 6.19 by NFL.com. I think he's a better player than that. I think he's more around a 6'30". But his ability to have pass rush moves as a nose tackle is absolutely insane. Especially considering the fact that it's kind of like a switch position early in college. As I said, he was a high school running back. And there's a player who he really kind of flashes and reminds me of when he played in terms of size. And that is Alim Payne, defensive tackle out of Washington. And he played college at Alabama. He was selected at pick 13. And if you look at his statistics, he's been a great player for Washington. He's had a 5 sack season, 2 sack season, 3 sacks. So he's never been this all-time dominant, pass rushing guy. But he's definitely been productive. His rookie year was just insane. 56 tackles, 5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and even having a fumble recovery from presumably his fumble. He's had 50 plus tackles each year, and he's always at least had 2 or more sacks. Along with the fact he also was coming off a season where he had 3 forced fumbles and 3 sacks, which I think honestly makes him just as valuable as his 5 sack season. And heck, he even had a pick, so he had 4 turnovers. So he at least has a lot of potential. He's done a great job. They're even similar sized. Alim McNeil is 6'2", 317, and Alim Payne is 6'3", 320. So there's a 1-inch difference and a 3-pound difference, but very similar. ESPN does have Alim McNeil rated 6'2", 320, so they have the same weight according to ESPN. But the NFL Combine rates him at 6'2", 317, so I don't really know. But this is the type of production I think we're going to get out of Alim. Maybe not consistent amount of 56 tackles and 5 sacks, but this is the type of player I think you're getting out of him. You can even kind of see they had similar pass rush production back at college. In fact, Alim was better in college at pass rush. Now, granted, the SEC, much better competition than the ACC, but he only had 3 sacks and a forced fumble, but he did also have that pick and a forced fumble. And their first 2 seasons, they had similar rushing numbers. So their college careers honestly aren't the most comparable, other than 2016 and 2015 being fairly similar beginning careers. But Alim's size is the big thing that pops off to me, and the fact that there's potential for that pass rush. And the fact that Alim Payne was even considered this high when he was playing in Alabama with this small pass rush stats, I think indicates how good Alim can be. Another reason I think Alim McNeil is going to be a great player is the Philadelphia Eagles wanted, according to the sources here, to draft Alim McNeil. Apparently the House executives and the draft room weren't very happy, and only really, like, one guy was really that happy about it, and a lot of people looked pissed off at the fact that Alim was selected. Another thing I think you have to look at is the plan that the Detroit Lions have when they select Alim. When Dan Campbell was with the New Orleans Saints, he started in 2016. I decided to look at his first draft when he joined the Saints. Now, granted, I have not heard any reports that he was involved in the draft board, but the Lions did have themselves kind of a similar part that the Lions had in their draft. And they drafted 2 defensive tackles in their draft as well on their first year. In the first round, they selected Sheldon Rankins, and the 4th round, they selected David Onyemata. I hope I said that right, but I'm sorry. So, in looking at these players, these are some dang good players in terms of their production. Now, I don't think David is that similar to Alim. Alim is 6'2", or even 6'3". The only thing that's really similar is their height. Alim is either 17 pounds more than David or 20 pounds heavier than David. But David is definitely like defense tackle selection they had. And I think this is kind of what they're envisioning in terms of like what he can be. I think this is more like an example of what Levi can be, in my opinion. Kind of like this good run stuff or pass rush stuff. I do not think Levi is going to be Aaron Donald. But then you kind of have a guy like Sheldon Rankins, who they drafted, exploded. So I think they kind of are looking for like either like one of these guys to kind of be like their David or their Sheldon in there. And I think that's kind of the potential that they're kind of seeing, and they're hoping that those two can kind of become that. Alim, just look at his pro day numbers. It's just crazy. A 4.94 for a defense tackle and a 40-yard dash. He just performed well in his pro day. And I just think it's pretty impressive that you look at that and you have that thing with Alim to show his potential. And you just gotta remember, when the Lions were at their best, they had a pass rush. They had Soup. They had Barely. They had Bonza. They had Van Bosich. I hope I said his name right, from the Detroit Lions team. They had Cliff Averill. They had all these players, and that could get to the quarterback, and then they lost him, and they didn't do as good. And I think that will help out of the selection of these 2 defensive tackles. And also, I want to point out something. Who has the size to be a nose tackle? I don't think it's Michael Brockers. He's 6'5", 305 pounds. He's definitely kind of more of like that guy who can be like a Deshaun Hand type guy who could be a defensive tackle and an end. That's why he's kind of listed mostly as a D lineman. And then certainly not Levi, because he is not a nose tackle. He's 6'3", and depending on who you go to, whether it be ESPN, who has him listed at 288, or NFL.com, who has him rated at 293, Levi is not going to be a nose tackle. He's going to be a 3-tech. So, I think Alim is kind of like also a bit more of a safer pick, but also feeling a need. The Lions need a natural nose tackle we have not had since Snacks Harrison, and has been sorely missed. I just think also maybe it's kind of like a just in case Levi, who I see as the boomer bust pick of the draft, doesn't work out. They got Alim, who can be that top tier run stuffer and has potential as a pass rusher to get to the quarterback. That's why I believe he's a steal. I don't necessarily have like film to show you on why I like him, but if I was going to give some suggestions, go on YouTube, go on Harris Highlights, or even look up, I believe it's why Alim McNeil is the answer, the 1-tech answer for the Dallas Cowboys, I believe. This was a guy who was hyping him up. 1-tech answer. Let's see. There he is. So if you go to Dallas Cowboys Network 2021 Draft, Alim McNeil is sleeper. Go to that guy's channel and watch that video. I cannot show that, or else I'd probably get copyrighted. but it's a great example of how good Alim McNeil can be. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button and subscribe.